Hi guys, Dr. Reese here. We're gonna go over the directions inside the mouth so that when I speak, all is understood. Just kidding. So basically what we want to do here, going inside out, so the midline is between the ones and is usually attached to a frenum. So you pull the lip up, you can see the midline. And I refer to the midline as the mid-sagittal plane. So it's mid-sagittal. Sagittal is like going this way anyway. So that's the mid-sagittal plane. And mesial is toward the mid-sagittal plane. So mesial is going this way. And it resets once you cross the mid-sagittal plane. It doesn't go this way, it goes this way. It's always pointing towards the midline, basically. Mesial is midline. Now distal is going away from the mid-sagittal plane, so it's going this way. It crosses the midline, goes that way. So you don't have an arrow that goes all the way this way, or direction goes this way. It's all the way to the midline and then resets. And then anterior and posterior, really the border for that is the canine. So anything like mesial to the canine is the anterior. Anything distal to the canine is posterior. And so now you have kind of orientation of the mouth. Now let's go over the tooth. So if you're looking at, we'll start with the molar. The molars have the occlusal surface, like the top biting portion of it, and the cheeks are out this way, and so we refer to that surface as the buccal surface. And the palate is right here, and so this surface right here is referred to as the palatal surface. And this edge right there is the mesial portion of the molar. This edge right here is the distal portion of the molar. And then if you kind of divide it some more, so you have the occlusal surface of the buccal surface, the occlusal end of the buccal surface, and the gingival end of the buccal surface right here. We do the same thing over here. This would be the occlusal portion of the palatal surface of the molar. This would be the gingival portion of the tooth, of the palatal portion of the tooth right there. So now when you're putting a bracket on the tooth, you always have the dot placed, or the hook placed, to the distal gingival portion of the surface you're placing it on. So if you kind of divided this tooth into quadrants, you'd have the distal half and the gingival half, and that's this corner right there. So the brackets always go on the distal gingival corner of the tooth. Now it changes a little bit when you go to the anteriors. You no longer have a buccal surface, it's facial, because it's towards the face. So buccal and facial are synonymous, they mean the same thing, it's just different semantics here for the location of the tooth. So you have a facial surface here, you have an incisal surface there, and you have a lingual or a palatal surface on the top right there. And on that same tooth, you have the distal corner, the mesial corner. So same sort of get up there. The only difference is on the bottom versus the top, or the maxillary versus the mandibular, is now instead of palatal, it'll be lingual because the tongue's down here. So this will be the lingual surface of the molar. Lingual. Versus the top would be palatal. I'm gonna cut that out. And yeah, so hopefully this is a supplement to the first video I made with drawing all this out. But yeah, that's me in our directions. Dr. Reese out.